In this tutorial, I'll show you how you can create a glitch transition using only turbulent displays. Now the first thing when you think about when you hear this effect is probably something liquidy. Now let me show you how you can use it as a transition. If we go into this layer and let's say I want to transition throughout this period, let's add turbulent displays to this layer. And if we go to the displacement type here, there's actually 3 options that you can play with which are less commonly known. Let's set it to horizontal displays and maybe the size to 300. And let's scale up the amount. And as you can see, we get this sort of tearing throughout this clip. Let's hide the layer underneath here and maybe scale it up a bit, and we can play around with some of these settings. Now if we set a keyframe for the size and the amount here, let's hit U to bring them up and go to the end. Let's make the size about 300 and the amount to 0. Select them, hit F9, and let's go into the graph to create something like so. Now we get this cool effect here, but there's one more thing we can do to improve it by a lot. If you go to the complexity here and let's increase it by a lot, you can see we get this sort of nice glitchy type of effect which looks amazing for a transition. And if you go into the pinning here and play around with some of these settings, you can receive a bunch of variations that are really cool, and there's endless possibilities here basically. So one more thing we can do is set a keyframe for the opacity here just so it doesn't start off like this. Maybe a few frames from 0 to 100, and let's unhide the clip underneath and let's see what we've got. Okay, this is really cool. Let's just make it faster. So maybe like that. Now, one more thing you can do here is if you duplicate this clip and let's move it back 1 frame and let's add a fill effect to this. Let's move forward here and let's set the mode here to overlay, and we can duplicate it 1 more time and move it 1 frame forward, and let's make this blue. We get this sort of glitchy RGB split type of effect. So this is how you create a transition using nothing but turbulent displacement. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.